Hi guys, it's Julie. Welcome back to my wonderful BC life. I'm back today with a shopping haul video. I've got Dollarama, Dollar Tree, and one item from Winners. Now, before I get into that, I want to do a bit of a vlog here and give you all an update on what's been going on in this crazy life of mine. Now, we had our existing kitchen cabinets torn out. Habitat for Humanity came and took those. And that was, I don't know what day, at least a couple weeks back. I don't even know. I've lost track of time. It's been so crazy. So when they tore those out and took them away, we noticed that there had been some water damage beneath where the cabinets were. This was damage that we had never even realized was there. And it's one of those things that is a good reason why not to just reface your existing cabinets, because that's what we thought about doing. And if we would have done that, we would have never known that the floors underneath our cabinets were just rotten. And I'm not exaggerating, they were rotten. Anyway, we explored a bit. There was some staining from water on the walls and there was some mold. So we had to wipe those down and treat that with the special stuff that you have to treat it to make sure that the mold is dead and so that it doesn't come back and all that. And we had to look underneath the existing vinyl floor that was there. It was the original vinyl floor. Well, when we lifted that up, it was like, oh no, this is terrible. That floor is absolutely rotten. It is still wet. We didn't know for sure exactly what was getting it wet. And we knew it had to be taken out and whatever it was had to be fixed. So we had to tear out all of this big area of flooring and we had to get a plumber down. He found that it was the valve that turns the water off and on to the hose, which is outside, just outside on the other side of the wall. He found that that was leaking. And it's obvious it had been leaking for a very long time, obviously much longer than we've even been here, probably for years, I'm guessing. So anyway, he fixed that. Then we had to get our flooring guy in. Well, he had to put the flooring down in the one bathroom anyway, so at least he was coming in here anyway. But he patched up the floor for us, and so that's all sealed up now. Everything is fixed. But needless to say, that set us back some. And the company that was putting in our cabinets, they were backed up. They were still busy with another job, so we had to wait for them regardless. And their guy finally shown up. And when I say guy, I mean guy. You would think putting a whole kitchen in that there would be at least two guys working on it, maybe even a third guy. No, we got one guy. Don't get me wrong, the guy that we got is, working like a mad fiend. I won't say that he's not. His feet are flying around here the entire time he's here. But he's only one guy, and one guy can only do so much. And it probably takes him longer to do things because he doesn't have somebody helping him. So anyway, at this point in time, he's got the cabinets mostly all in. The only thing is we're waiting for a door. I think you can see where I'm looking at. That corner over there, I wanted a glass paneled door in there. We're waiting on that because I sort of added it after the fact, and I don't know, I don't think they remembered to order it right off the bat, even when I did say it. But anyway, we're waiting for a door there. We're still waiting for the hardware to be put on, the knobs, whatever it was, handles that we picked. We're still waiting for them. So I still can't put stuff back in the cabinets because I know he's going to be drilling in every one of those doors and there's going to be sawdust and what have you. So there's no point in cleaning anything yet. And there's no way I can put things away yet. So I'm still having to do my dishes in my bathroom sink at the back of the house. It's just a typical small bathroom sink. I'm having to do my dishes in there because the dishwasher's not hooked up. And it's so hard doing things this way. Everything is all over the place in totes. All of the Christmas, or not Christmas, kitchen items are all in totes and like on dressers and wherever. They're all over the spare bed. You know, everything is displaced and it's just spewed out all over. So at this point now, we're waiting for the contractor to come back and fix, you know, get that door on there and put the hardware on. We still have to get the electrician back in to do the undermount lighting and hook up the microwave. He still has some hookups there to do. I'm not sure if he might have something to do still with the dishwasher too. I'm not sure. We have to get the plumbers still back in again, which I've got those guys on speed dial for as many times as they've been here since we moved in. It's been a lot of times we've had plumbers here and electricians for that matter. But anyway, so we're still waiting for that. We're waiting for the countertops to come in. The guy did come in and measure about 3 days ago, but we were told it was going to be about 10 days after the measure before we'll get those counters. So that's still a ways off before that's going to get done. And I don't think Dave wants to get those other things I just said done until that's done first. And we also have to get the backsplash done, but that'll be the last thing. That'll be the last thing that we get done, I think. So we're still probably easily at least 2 weeks out. And like I say, doing dishes in the bathroom sink, which is kind of hard when you get to bigger items. It's not so bad if it's just like a mug or a small plate, but when you get into the bigger things, it gets complicated. But this is what we've been going through. And I've been having some more issues. Now, before I say anything, Dave gets mad if I mention my neighbor, who she's the same one who I've had trouble with in the past regarding our car's headlights and our fabric softener sheets and our laundry detergent and all that stuff. This is the same one. She called me up one evening and she started basically yelling at me. And she's like, you know, what the heck was it with all that noise first thing this morning? And I'm like, what is she talking about? I honestly did not know what she was talking about. She says at 6 o'clock this morning, and she repeated that time numerous times over and over again. At 6 o'clock this morning, she says, you and Dave were outside talking really loud and laughing, she said. And she said, then there was all sorts of banging in the garage. And I'm like, what? None of this made any sense. First of all, I'm a night owl. I tend to stay up until 1, sometimes even 2 in the morning. I'm not up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm just simply not. I have no reason to be. I'm not. So anyway, Dave is up at that hour, but he's as quiet as a church mouse. I can barely hear him myself. And he'll just get up. He has the TV volume down so low, it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm in the bedroom, just the other side of the wall, and I am hard pressed to hear that the TV's on at all. And I'm that close. So, like I say, he certainly wasn't making a lot of noise. I wasn't making any noise because I was sleeping. And I told her that over and over again. And she kept telling me that I was flat out lying. And I'm like, no, I'm not lying. We were not making all those noises. So anyway, she kept going on, and I eventually hung up on her. And after I got off the phone, I told Dave what she said. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention she was stinking drunk when she called me. So there's that. Anyway, I go and tell Dave what she was saying, and he was as stumped as I was because he knew there wasn't any noise here at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I got thinking about it, and I thought, wait a minute, is she talking about when the delivery guy dropped off the cabinets? Because that was that morning, but it wasn't at 6 o'clock. It was around 8:30, and I could even prove that it was around 8:30. I had made phone calls right afterwards because he came around 8:30. Yes, I had to go outside to greet the guy and talked a little bit to him. I certainly wasn't talking a lot, and I don't think I was laughing loudly or anything. But anyway, that guy did come. And of course, he did have to lower a tow motor or whatever you want to call that thing to lift the skid of cabinets to put them in the garage. So there would have been a little bit of noise there, but I still didn't think there was a lot. But anyway, I think that's what she was talking about. But that was 8:30, not 6 o'clock. And I'm like, how can she not tell the difference between those two times? At 6 o'clock in the morning, it's still dark outside. At 8:30 in the morning, it's light outside. So there's a big difference between the two, a huge difference between the two. But was she stinking drunk then too? One has to wonder. Thankfully, I don't think anybody in this complex knows that I have this channel, so I can speak freely here about her. But we've been having problems with her in other ways too. I don't know if I've mentioned it, I probably have, about her, and I'm sure it's her, throwing wine boxes in my backyard. And not just the boxes, but sometimes the bottles. And I've talked to different people around here about it. One person, I'm not going to name names, but one person said, yes, she has a drinking problem. And the people before me had problems with her boxes. And at that time, I didn't know what they meant by boxes, but that they had problems with her boxes showing up in their yard. And I have talked to other people about her. And one person said, oh, I don't think that it's necessarily her. They said, I think it's just somebody going down the path that's behind our property. Well, logically, there's probably at least 20 feet, maybe even more, between here and the fence. Probably another 15 feet on the other side of the fence that's all blackberry bushes, so you cannot walk in there before you get to the actual path where people could walk back and forth and do walk back and forth. But I don't think anybody's going to be able to throw that cardboard box that far. Something of that weight isn't going to travel that far. I just don't believe that. And especially when we know that she's got a drinking problem, it just kind of points towards her anyway. But also, it's the bottles, the wine bottles, just yesterday. And I'm going to put some footage in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just yesterday, I went out back to feed the birds, and sure enough, there was a wine bottle in the bushes right beneath our bedroom window. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It's like within inches of the back of our property. And there it is, right there. And I don't believe it's somebody walking by that's throwing these things there. I believe that it is her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove it. I haven't got it yet, but I'm going to get one of those trail cams. Now, I have to be careful about where I put it because I don't want to be invasive of her actual property. I don't want to aim it towards her actual property because I'm sure I'd get in trouble for that. But if I put it on my property, aiming over to the side, like her property, like mine is here, hers is back here further. It's further back. The units are staggered. So if I put a camera on our little fence beside our patio and aim it over that way, it won't show her place at all. It'll just show the yard. And if she were to come walking from her place, she'd have to come around the bend, around the corner of our place to toss a wine box or a wine bottle. In theory, a camera should pick that up because I want to prove that it actually is her. I find it very upsetting that she's doing this. I think it's absolutely psychotic behavior, to be honest. I mean, who in the middle of winter is walking around outside and tossing alcohol boxes and alcohol bottles in their neighbor's yard? It's just not normal behavior. I think she's got a few screws loose, if I'm being honest. Now, Dave gets angry with me when I talk about her because he thinks that everybody will think that we're living in some, really sketchy complex or something. That's not true at all. It's actually a very nice complex. Everybody keeps their places up really nice. It's nicely landscaped and everything. The complex itself is very nice. It's just I've got a neighbor who has a screw loose and a drinking problem. So anyway, enough about that. So anyway, like I say, between her and the kind of driving me crazy and this renovation that's taking way too long, it's kind of driving me nuts right now. But we're going to get past at least the renovation part. The neighbor, I think if she complains to me too much, I'm going to have to say, listen, if you don't like it, you're going to have to move. And she's lived here for decades. So, but I'll still say it to her if she keeps pushing it. I'm the type of person who it takes a lot to get me to snap at somebody, but there is a point where all of a sudden I'll hit that point and I just, that's it. I can't, I can't be nice anymore. I will snap at her. I know I will. So she better not keep pushing me because that day is coming fast with all the things she's done to irritate me. Anyway, on to the haul. We don't want to just sit there and bitch about the neighbors and the renovating and all that the entire video. So let's get on to the actual haul. Now, this is Dollar Tree items. And the first thing I got is one of these, what is the brand? Something or other, Garden something or other, solar stake light. And it looks like this. And this is one of these flame glow lights. So this will look like a flickering flame when it's lit up. And I know one of the ladies whose videos I follow, she's down in Indiana. She buys these all the time. And what she'll do is she'll put them in the window in the daytime to get them charged up. And then she'll just place them like around her living room or, in a bedroom or wherever she wants them to be. So anyway, she really likes them. So I decided I would give one of them a try. Well, actually, I picked up two. And those were $2 a piece. So I got them. And then I got some Old Dutch potato chips. It says $2.50 on the bag, but I'm sure my receipt only said I paid $2. And these are the 135 gram bag, and they're the Ridgie's Extra Salt and Vinegar. Now, I like salt and vinegar chips. I actually love salt and vinegar chips. Dave, on the other hand, won't touch them, which is weird because he likes salt and vinegar on French fries, but he doesn't like salt and vinegar chips. Whatever, more for me. So then I picked up some of these, and it's the Martin's Family Fruit Farm Crispy Apple Chips, and the flavor is Cinnamon Groove. It's just a small bag, 22 grams, and that looks like that. And that was $1.50. So then I got some of these. I don't know how you pronounce this name, Bassa or Basse or something. It's got the little asterisk or whatever above the E. So it's the Peanut Lovers Mix. And it says roasted and chocolatey peanuts, pretzels, praline peanuts, peanut butter cups, and peanut butter chips. 125 gram bag. That looks like that. And there's the name, if you want to see that name better. It's got a little squirrel on it. And those were $1.50 a bag. Now, I have seen these same nuts, and they have other types too, other, not all this type with the peanut butter and stuff, but they have other ones at the Real Canadian Superstore. They're in a bigger bag, and they were right at the end near the produce department. And I think they were $6 a bag, and they were, like I say, a bigger bag than these. So that's a good deal, too, if you like them, that you can pick them up there. So then I got some Planters Party Trail Mix, and this one has the peanuts, pretzels, caramel corn, praline almonds, dark chocolate caramel corn, and dark chocolate chips. And this is just a 80 gram bag for $1.75. I think they sell a bigger size bag at Dollarama of this same type, but I just picked these up when I saw them at Dollar Tree. And then I got some of the Reese's Peanut Butter O. Henry bars, the little mini bars, 180 gram for $2.50. Those are extremely tasty. I picked those up mostly for Dave, but I'm sure I'll munch on a few of them. So then I got some of the Planters Fruit and Nut Burst Trail Mix. This one has papaya, banana chips, golden raisins, yogurt raisins. The yogurt raisins are by far my favorite. They are yummy, yummy. And pineapple, almonds, apricots, and apples. And that's a 100-gram bag for $1.75. I've been picking up little things like this right now because with the kitchen the way it is, we really can't do a lot of cooking or anything. So making dessert is kind of tricky. So, you know, get little things like this that we can just munch on for dessert easily. Otherwise, normally I wouldn't buy as much of this sort of stuff. So then I wanted some jars. I had been picking up the hot chocolate in bulk at Bulk Barn, and I was so sad to see that because Christmas is over, the white hot chocolate with the candy cane is no longer available. So I'm sad that it won't be back till next Christmas. But I do have some left somewhere in one of my totes. I do have some. But for every day, I wanted some jars to put them in. So I got these jars for $1.75 each, and I'll put my hot chocolate in there, and I'll just label each one so I know what kind is in which jar. And then I got these. Now, I see these things all the time, and I don't normally use them. But the ones I see usually are the plastic ones, and people seem to throw them all over parking lots. Everywhere you go, you see them. You know, you'll be walking through the parking lot at Walmart, and you see these things, these flossers laying all over the place. And I don't like that people are buying the plastic ones because, you know, who's to say how long it's going to take for those to rot down, right? I don't like things like that. So I picked up these ones. They're the Plackers Eco Choice Compostable 100% Biodegradable Dental Flossers. And it's a package of 50. It's even got recyclable packaging, it says. And those look like that. And those were $1.75. So I'm going to try those and see if I like using them. Usually I use the just dental floss, but I know Dave uses different things, so he might like them too. So then I got some Colgate Optic White Renewal toothpaste, 70 milliliter tube, and it claims on the label that it removes 10 years of yellow stains. Now, I've tried darn near every toothpaste there is, and I've yet to find one that I really think makes much of a difference. Some of them might make a smidgen of a difference, but certainly not a lot. At least I don't think so. But I thought I'd try this one, and it was $3. So I picked up a couple of those, and we'll see how they do. But I'm not holding my breath on it removing the yellow like they say it's going to. I've heard that the toothpastes that are like the purple toothpaste, I've heard that they're supposed to be really good. But I have never come across them in any of the stores that I've been in, so I don't know if they carry them here in Canada or not. If they do, I haven't found them yet. So then I saw this and I thought it might be interesting. Now, I like stir fry. Dave is not so much a stir fry person. He's more of a meat and potatoes type of guy as opposed to somebody who wants a plate full of vegetables. But I like stir fry, and I'm going to make it once we get my kitchen done, whenever that is. And I saw this Blue Dragon stir fry sauce, sweet and sour, a sweet and tangy blend of pineapple, rice vinegar, and chilies, it says. And that was $2. So I picked that up, and I'm going to make some, like I say, I'm going to make some stir fry at some point, and I'll make sure I put plenty of chicken in it so Dave at least gets some meat in there, because you know he's going to want it. And then I saw these at Dollar Tree, and I don't yet know how good these are going to be because I haven't put them out yet, but they're these little mushroom solar lights. Here's the yellow one, and you can see on the label, oh, this one's got a sticker on it. I know the red one doesn't have a sticker right over the picture. Anyway, but there's the yellow one, and there's a blue one, and here's the red one. I'm trying to get it out. And there's the red one. And I know that there was at least one other color. I think it was 4 colors. And that shows you what they are supposed to look like when they're lit up. So I'll be putting those out once we, not this week, it's supposed to rain a lot this week, so I don't imagine they're going to charge up much anyway. But I will be putting those out once the weather turns a bit nicer. And those were $2 if I didn't already say so. So then I needed a calendar. I'm one of those old-fashioned people. I have a calendar on my cell phone, obviously, but I like having one on the wall too. So I picked up the 2026 puppy calendar. Now look at that cute little fella on the front. And there's the other puppies on the back. So cute, every single one. And it also comes with the little mini calendar, which has different puppies on that as well. And that was $1.75 for the 2 calendars. So then I picked up a little towel. We all know I have too many towels, but I saw this one and it was cute. And it says, "I love you cherry much." I'm trying to get it into position because I already took it out of the packaging. So anyway, there we go. "I love you cherry much." And it's got the little bows on it and that. So cute. Putting that in my bathroom. And that was $1.75. And then I found this for $1.25. I don't know why this came up so much cheaper, because usually they don't sell things for that price at Dollar Tree anymore. But it's this little flower arrangement with the heart. And I thought that was kind of cute just to put in the bathroom or something. And they did have some that had little white teddy bears on too, or polar bears, I guess they'd be. They had little white polar bears as well. So I got that. And I know, I said I was going to try not to buy gnomes, and I haven't been buying too many lately, but they came out with the little mini Valentine's Day gnomes, and I couldn't resist them. I figured they're the type of thing that's small enough that I can put them almost anywhere. So I ended up picking up the new ones that they came out with this year. And there's this one. And he says love. He's got the banner with love. And then there's this one that has the little purple heart that says be mine. And this one has the envelope. Happy Valentine's Day, it says on there. And then there's the little girl one. She doesn't have anything that says anything on her. But anyway, she's cute and has the little pink ribbons in her hair. So I got those, and those were $1.75 each. And then I picked up 2 of these. I thought they were kind of interesting. I think they have something similar at Dollarama, actually, but I got mine at Dollar Tree. And they were $1.75 for the little wooden hearts. This is the red one that says love, and it has the pink beads with the little tassel on the side. And then this one is the pink one with the kisses and hugs on it, and it's got the little red beads and the tassel on that. And those were $1.75, and I thought those were cute, and like I say, they're small enough that I can easily find places to put things like that. So I picked those up. So anyway, I will now put these items away and get my Dollarama items out so I can share those with you, as well as the item from Winners. Okay, I guess it's time to get on to the Dollarama items. Let's see what I got this time. The first item is a repurchase, and that's the Pet Store Wild Bird Food in the 2.75 kilogram bag for $4.50. I picked those up for my birds that I have outside, which we have a ton of birds outside. I cannot believe how many we get here. A lot of red-winged blackbirds, which my one neighbor said that because they tend to hog the feeder a lot, he said that there's a certain other type of seed that you can put in there that they don't like. But I like seeing them too, so I'm not going to discriminate. They can still stick around. I don't mind them being here at all. So I'll just have to go through more birdseed, that's all. So I get it at Dollarama. I could get a bigger bag someplace else, and it would probably work out cheaper in the long run. But it's just easier for me to carry these ones back and forth. Not too heavy, and, you know, I don't have to go looking for it. I know where to find it. So also for my birds, I've got 3 different kinds of suet from Dollarama. And the first one is the Peanuts treat. And these are all $1.75. And then I also got the berry treat. And I got this one, which I didn't realize they had the 3rd kind. And it's the high energy suet. Don't know quite what's different about that one, what makes it high energy, but I have very high energy birds out there, so I'm sure they'll eat it. I have no doubt. I think one of these things of suet will last my birds on average maybe 3 or 4 days. That's about the longest I'll get out of one at any given time. So like I say, I have to buy it quite often. And there's one flavor they go through even faster, and I'm not sure if it's the berry one. If it is, then you know that my birds have a sweet tooth. So the next things I got. I'm not sure if I paid $1 for this or what it was. I really don't recall, and I couldn't find my receipt, but I did get a Valentine card for Dave. And I picked some of this up. I've never used it before, but I know a lot of people do use Gravol. And I had kind of an upset tummy when I was in Dollarama the one day. And when I saw the Gravol, I thought, oh, I better buy that. It's 8 liquid gel capsules. Non-drowsy, nausea and upset, stomach relief. And that's what that looks like. And I can't recall what I paid for it. It might have been $3 something, $3.75 or something. I'm pretty sure it was $3 something, I think. And also I got this. Richard got me a picture for Christmas that I need to get a frame for. And I thought this would be the perfect kind of frame for it. It's the type of thing that I can just put it right in the middle of it, just much like this picture's just in the middle of it. And this was $4.75, so I got one of those. And then I got another little picture frame. When Richard and Emily came over at Christmas, they stopped in at what used to be called Cabela's, and they got their picture taken with Santa. And they gave me the picture. So now I wanted to get a little frame for it. So I'm going to put it in this frame. And that was $3.75 if I didn't already say so. And then, oh, there's another heavy bag. This one's kind of a funny thing, because I picked this up thinking that we're bound to get snow, because we do every year, right? Every year we get snow. And this year we haven't gotten any. And I just, thought, I'll just hang on to it. I meant we're bound to get snow at some point. Maybe not this year, but next year for sure. I don't think we'll miss 2 years in a row. I doubt it. But anyway, I picked up the Icebreaker 5 kilogram bag. And that is like that. And that was $4.75. Like I say, I'm prepared, but we've had kind of a crazy winter, really. We've had some cold weather. We've had some highs around to like 4 or 5 degrees, but getting down below freezing at night. But then it didn't snow on those days. And we've had some really foggy days too, which was kind of interesting to see just how foggy it got. But right now it's like super rainy out there today. I've got great big puddles in my backyard, and it's fairly warm, like probably 9 degrees or something like that. So I don't see any snow in the forecast for the next week or so anyway. Maybe not all winter, I can't really say. So the next thing I got was some Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips. And that's the 200-gram bag. And those were $3. I don't see that flavor too often. And I kind of like cheddar-y chips, so I thought I'll grab those. And then I got some napkins. And these were the Noel napkins. You're getting 16 napkins in the package. And they were $1.75. And these are a cute wintry scene with the deer on there and the snowflakes and the Christmas tree. Well, not a Christmas tree, but just a wintry tree. And normally I would have them out right now, but because, as you can probably see, this kitchen is nowhere near ready to put out decor. Anyway, I'll save them for when it finally gets done. And although probably by the time it all gets done, it's probably going to be close to Valentine's Day and I'll have to put my Valentine's stuff out. So that might be waiting for next year to get used. But anyway, I got them and they were cute. And the next item. I always use a scraper on my stovetop. You know, you get that smooth stovetop and it's sometimes hard to get things off of it. And I always use a little scraper. Well, my scraper broke. So when I was in Dollarama, I spotted this. It's the Duramax Pro window scraper. And it looks like this. And it comes with 5 blades in it. So I think I'm going to try that. This should actually be better than what I was using. So hopefully it works out well. And I can keep my stovetop nice and clean the way I like it. And then the next thing I got, I always use earbuds when I'm on the computer. Not if nobody's home or anything, but like if Dave is sleeping, I'll put earbuds in. Or if he's watching something I don't want to watch, I'll put my earbuds in and I'll watch my own videos. Or like when the contractor was working on the kitchen, I don't think he wants to listen to whatever videos I'm watching at the time. So I just put my earbuds in and keep whatever I'm watching to myself. So I picked these up for $4.55, and they're the Billboard Stereo In-Ear Earbuds. They had different colors. I got the pink ones. Well, actually, I got 2 pairs. I'm not sure what color I got the other ones. But mine weren't working. It was funny because the one stopped working right. It would sort of go in and out, and then the other one started doing it. So I'm like, well, I guess they're toast. So I got some new ones anyway for $4.55. Okay, and the next item I got, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been picking up baby blankets for decor. I will see them and I will see one that I like, and it's the perfect thing for like draping over a chair because you don't need a full-size blanket for that. So when I saw this, I knew I had to get it. I thought it was adorable. And there is one other one that I've seen people post on Facebook that if I find that one, I will get that one too. But anyway, in the meantime, I got this one, and it's the Cheeky Toe Sherpa lined baby blanket for $5. These are the really nice soft ones. I've noticed that Dollarama does get another brand in there sometimes, but the other brand isn't as nice as these are. But look at this pattern for Valentine's Day. I don't know if they're supposed to be like little waffles or what they're supposed to be, but whatever they are, they've got different colors of what I assume is supposed to be frosting on them, and they're all in the shape of little hearts. I thought those were absolutely adorable. So that's my Dollarama items. I've got something here that I picked up at Winners. I had seen it in there for a while. Every time I'd go in there, I'd see it. And I'd think, oh, you know, I kind of like it. But, you know, Dave sort of hinted that maybe I didn't need to keep buying more gingerbread stuff because I've got quite a bit already. And he's not wrong about that. I do have a lot of stuff already. But anyway, what happened was when I went in the one day, it was still there. I'm surprised how many stores still have Christmas items out. But it was still there on an end cap. And I looked at it and they had reduced it again. And I thought, okay, for that price, I will buy it. You can never have too much gingerbread, right? And she's definitely along those lines. And I'm not sure how tall she is. She's got to be at least a foot tall. That is this little lady right here. I don't know if she's supposed to be a young Mrs. Santa or what she's supposed to be. I don't know. But there's her face, and she's got her hair up in a bun. She's got presents in her hands. And look at this. On her apron, in the pocket, she's got a little gingerbread man. And, of course, there's her little boot. I guess they're like little boots. And it's all like gingerbread at the bottom with frosting on the bottom of it. And there's the back of her dress with the pretty bow on it. She was regular $19.99, and when I found her that last time, she was down to $8, and I went, okay, I'm buying her at $8. I could not resist. She was very pretty, so Anyway, I'll be putting her out next year. So now I have some very interesting news. This has been killing me. I've been wanting to share this news for a little while, and even on my last videos, I wasn't allowed to because the news that I had not yet been broken, and I was not at liberty to be the one to break it. But now I can. When Richard and Emily came over at Christmas time, they handed Dave and I each a gift, and we were told that we had to open them at the same time. Now, I was a few seconds ahead of Dave in the opening department, and I was the first one to reach down in my box and pull my item out. And I don't imagine you can even, well, some of you are probably already guessing at this point what's coming, but anyway, I opened it up and pulled this item out, and it was a red sweatshirt, and it said Grandma on it. Grandma! And I'm like, oh my God, does this mean what I think it means? And then I realized that Dave has one too, and his says Grandpa on it. I start immediately bawling my eyes out. I'm like, oh my God, I thought this day was never going to come. Oh. And of course, it's all on film because Emily filmed it. I had no idea that they were even trying, and I guess they were, and they finally conceived. So now I'm going to be a grandma. It's supposed to be due around July, and I am so excited. I do know the sex of the baby, but that I am not allowed to disclose at this time. That is still privileged information because I'm guessing that they want to have a big reveal in regards to that. But anyway, like I say, I could not be more excited. Dave is excited. We're going down a whole new road in our lives now, one that I was beginning to think was never going to come. I just honestly didn't know if Richard and Emily were ever going to have any children, but it definitely looks like they're going to be now. So like I say, I could not possibly be more excited about this. I'm just over the moon and beyond, honestly, so happy. So like I say, it's going to be a long, the next month, however many months that is. I haven't even stopped to calculate. What are we talking about? 5 months or something? Maybe a bit longer. But it's going to be such a long time waiting, but it's going to be so worth the wait. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed my video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do join my YouTube family. And if you haven't hit the notification bell and set it to all, please do that so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that you're all healthy and that you're all happy. I would really like to thank you for joining me today. And until my next video, bye-bye. Okay, this is ridiculous. I just finished picking up the third wine box that has been tossed into our backyard since we moved here in August. And look at what I'm looking at now. Look at that. There, in our bushes, right behind our bedroom, I might add, is a bloomin', and I'm trying hard not to swear right now, wine bottle. And we all know where it came from. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this, but this is not right and it's not fair, and I think something has to be said. I've been trying to avoid it up until now, but I really think something has to be said because this is ridiculous. There it is, another wine bottle in my bushes right outside my bedroom window. I have got to get a trail cam, and I'm definitely getting one soon. One of my gifts from Dave was this tier tray. I know that he got it from Canadian Tire. It was in the clearance area for the longest time, and I kept going in and looking at it. The only thing that it had wrong with it was a few chips that you noticed in the red paint, which I can touch up, which I haven't done yet, but
Nonetheless, he knew that I wanted it, and so he did pick that up for me. So now I have 2 tiered trays in my kitchen because I also have this one. Dave also got me these cute little salt and pepper shakers. Totally adorable. If you watched my home decor tour for Christmas this year, one of the things I mentioned was that I had sort of put a bug in Dave's ear about something that I had seen over at HomeSense, and it was this beautiful gingerbread paper towel holder. I could not believe that he actually took note of when I mentioned it, because he often doesn't remember these details, but he did this time, and he picked it up for me for Christmas, and here's what it looks like. So cute. Isn't that adorable? Just love it. Boxing Day polar bear dip in Nanaimo at Arthur Bay Beach. Hardier souls than me, I tell ya. Somebody down there. Santa hat so entertaining.
Yeah.
Like going in out. I have a heart.
Bonus here, Exert.
Yeah.
You guys see the seal through the discos.